shit. Like there's NBA players out there that freaking that take that. Like I've seen this one video. The dude's like the interviewer or the cameraman. They're like, what are you drinking, coffee? And he's like, no. He's like, it's alkaline water. He's like, it's lemon and hot water. Like literally, that's what it is. And I was like, bro, there's no way. So yesterday at work, I got some hot water in my coffee mug and I bought a lemon on break and I squeezed the whole lemon into it, man. I was fucking energized. I was like, bro, this ain't nothing like coffee, bro. Like, I was like in shock because I've never had that experience with lemons before. And like I've drank like cold lemon water, but it's different, you know, like cucumbers and stuff in it. I love cucumbers too, but yeah, some crazy shit.
That's a great way to start the podcast, bro. I already had that motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
Running.
Yes, sir.
But this is the 28 podcast. I'm here with my homie Gothwood. Let him know how to spell that shit, bro.
It's GXTHWXXD. You can find me literally anywhere. If you go on your phone, whether you got Safari, Google Chrome, don't matter. GXTHWXXD. You can follow me on any platform you could think of. I'm there. So, yeah.
Now, something, bro, that I've heard you say multiple times at your shows is that Gothwood, you know, the name stuck, or the phase didn't, though,
yeah,
right?
Name stuck, phase didn't. That's how it is. I'm not like a sad, depressing person. It just depends on the day now. But like when I initially came up with Gothwood, it was like I was in that depressing stage, you know, making like the emo style music, and it's just name stuck, phase didn't. You know, I'm still here, but that's the name that brought me up to where I am today. So it's like, you know, why ditch it? You know,
Yeah,
like it's something positive. So.
Do you want to talk at all about like how you ended up like? How
I mean, I was just telling you. I mean, outside of the camera, but like, I've been making music my whole life and like just like beatboxing and like singing ever since I could speak, and like it wasn't until like I was 15 years old in like 2015, like maybe like 2014 when I started really like getting into it. Like 2014 was when I started listening to like Drake and like OVO and Party Next Door, and then 2015 came around and I had an Amazon Kindle Fire tablet and this really crappy like voice recording app, but it recorded background audio too. So I was like, okay, well I listened to their music and I was like, I could do that better, you know, I could do that. So I started using this app and I would have to put the beat on and have it playing in order to record over it, just so it would pick it up. I couldn't mix or anything, add like reverb or nothing, but like it was a start. And then I didn't take it seriously. Everything that I made during that period kind of just, it's all private. It still exists and it's still out there, but it's private.
You're like 14, 15? What around that time?
Yeah, like 15 years old 15? In 2015, because I was born in 2000, so whatever year it is, that's my age. Makes it a lot easier. But yeah, freaking 2015 came around, I got a computer and like a crappy like microphone, but it was better than recording off of that tablet. And I started making like just regular rap stuff, and just started making my own beats because my cousin down in Florida, I didn't tell you this, my cousin down in Florida was actually a big rapper at the time in Florida.
For sure.
Yeah, like thousands of followers and shit. He was doing shows and stuff. And he put me on the FL Studio when he found out I was rapping, and that's around the same time I got that computer and got that, you know, microphone and everything. And he put me on the FL Studio, and he told my cousin my actual cousin that he married, he's like, watch, he's gonna know that like the back of his hand. And sure enough, you know, like 2015, 2016, I was playing with it. But then 2017 came around. I made a song with Crooks, R.I.P. Crooks. Literally May 17th just passed. He died when he was 18. But that was like the first song that really like made me like, damn, I can rap, you know. And then 2018 came around. I dealt with a heartbreak, and then I started taking music serious. I dropped a whole album called Lovesick Part 1, which is still available on my SoundCloud if you guys want to listen to it. It's not going to be there much longer. But yeah, that happened. I made some singles here and there, and I started, you know, taking mixing and everything seriously. I had other beats that I was buying and stuff because I didn't fully make my beats all the time, because I was still in that like early like progression stage where you just, you know, it's like, okay, that sounds alright, but there's like a lot that could have been done, you know, to make it like, okay, shit, this is something, you know, something unique right here. And then 2019 came around, I dropped Lovesick Part 2, and I also dropped my Nausea EP, and that EP gained around like 5,000 streams in total, like 6,000 streams. mainly the song Nicotine Daydreams and Nauseated. And um, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where that emo phase ended. And 2020 came around, I had a complete mindset change, like the way I look at religion, the way I look at music, the way I look at everything in life. It just completely changed, like a complete 180. And I dropped the song Call, which was like my biggest upbringing until, this year, but we'll get to that. And I dropped my album The Boy, which is the first like studio mix. Like I mixed that like to like studio quality standards. Everything was like to a T. It's like my best album. And ever since then it's just been up, like just doing, going along with it now that I got everything down, and I know what I'm doing with it.
So like, what was like, what are some of those events that led you from the emo phase? Like you said, so I kind of hear like there's like levels to this shit. Like when you start taking it serious, and then like you're at another point where now you're taking it even more serious.
Exactly.
So like you had told me like after that breakup is when you started taking music serious.
Like really, like actually, it wasn't just like a joke, or wasn't just like fun. It was like, oh yeah, I'm just spitting bars. It wasn't just something I was like doing. It was like I'm putting actual emotion into this, and I'm actually putting my soul into this. Like this is something I really care about now. I actually found my connection with music that way, and the more I progressed, the more I dealt with stuff, and that relationship was on and off until the end of 2020. And like it's just, you have two people that have the same exact issues. It gets toxic because when you have anxiety and this other person has anxiety, and y'all both have like the same versions of anxiety, it's hard to explain. You deal with things the same way, and it's not in like in a positive way that's gonna help you in any way. It just makes it worse. Two people doing the same exact thing, it only causes problems. I'm always gonna love that person, and I hope they found their change, and I hope they're happy right now. But when 2020 came around, it's just like I'm moving so quick at that point, and they didn't want to change, to get themselves better, and I would never ask someone to change for me. But I would, I wanted them to be happy and actually like explore life and live life, because that's where I was becoming. I was sick of being sad all the time, and I was sick of just partaking in such depressing things, and it affected my music. I didn't want to make depressing music anymore. I didn't want to like be upset all the time. I wanted to be hyped because I was hype. I was happy. Yeah. Everything changed, and a lot of my habits were dying out, and just she wasn't at that point in her spiritual journey yet. When I had to end it there, and it fucking hurt, man. I'm still hurting to this day about it, man. Sure. There's always gonna be that one relationship. If you find that person, I don't know if I'll ever find a person that I had that much of a connection with again. And if I do, I hope they're the mother of my children. But if not, it's like I'm always gonna love that person. It's like I'm always gonna, understand and feel that connection. It's been 2 years, I'm still. I still cry about it sometimes because it's like, you get upset, you kind of sad that, something's so beautiful.
It's grief, bro. Like, people don't, like, talk about, there's, like, different ways of, there's, like, different forms of grief. Like, losing somebody, like, they're no longer alive. That's one form of grief.
Yeah.
Having a strong relationship with somebody and now that relationship is no more, that's also grief. Like,
if we didn't have if we both worked on the same issues and, like, acknowledged them, like earlier on, shit could have lasted longer. But I just felt like it was like a grab and push, pull, push away, grab, push away, kind of thing. You just didn't know how to experience things right, because I don't think I was ready, and I don't think she was ready for like such an experienced connection with no experience. It was like, damn, it just hurts, But, even in the most like deepest of struggles and like deepest of pains in life, you gotta find the valuable lesson behind it, because you're not experiencing that for no reason.
Right.
Like you might, you're sad because you're no longer with someone, or that person is no longer here, but there's a reason why you're thinking about it, and there's a reason why that thought was put into your head, is because there's something that you're not seeing, that the universe or the Lord, God in the universe, it's all the same thing. Like that's the one thing that people miss about religion is, there's always something true about every religion. There's always something that's true about it. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be necessarily true, because there's a lot of social constructs out there. But like, you're always gonna be in that situation where you need to think when you're upset like that, when you're in your down points, because that's when there's valuable lessons. That's when the universe is trying to be like, hey, you know, they're knocking on your skull. They're like, hey, like something's going on here. Oh, chewing on my. We got a special guest down here.
Tucci the rabbit.
Tucci the rabbit, bro. That's the mascot for the 28 Angels, bro.
He does that to tell you to get out of his way, bro. But about like we're talking like religion and the universe and stuff like that, bro. So like, what exactly made you start like thinking different? Was it like, did it have to do with the relationship, or was it just life in itself?
I had some
like...
experience. I don't know. Like, it just, the universe was like, okay, you know, you went through that. You went through a lot of hurt, and it was like, it's time for you to change, and it's time for you to fulfill your purpose.
You just felt that within yourself?
Yeah, like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, I had a lot of different events and stuff, and just like, the universe tells you, you know, everyone has their own path. You know, you could just be like everybody else out there, but then there's those certain people that just, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm any better than anybody else, but I do believe that I have like a special path for life. I'm not here to be an icon. I'm here to be an example. You know, I'm here to help people. If I could save one person's life with my emotional music, like, yeah, I make hype music from time to time, you know, like, good, you know, like, like Wave. I know you fuck with Wave. But like, I'll make music like that, but like my more emotional tracks, like, I really do still put a lot of solace in them, because I want people to relate. I want people to have someone that's not just talking about, you know, freaking doing drugs on their pastime to kill pain. You know, like, I want people to actually think about what they're going through and really trying to find the value behind it, because everybody, like I said, everybody goes through the experiences that they go through in life, whether it be good or bad, for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a lesson in everything. And everything that happens to you and is to happen to you is already set in stone. Whether you'd like to think it or not, the decisions that you make, even though you're subconsciously making decisions, those decisions were already predetermined. So everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own, you know, their own journey to go down, you know? Like, I know, like I was explaining to you earlier with, like, certain health issues, like, I don't know, you know, when all that stuff's gonna hit. And the way I like living is just like, you know, it's not that I do drugs or anything like heavy. I mean, you know, I smoke from time to time, but like, you just don't know how long you're gonna be here. You know, it's like, I gotta make the most out of it. I gotta provide for, you know, family that I don't have yet. You know, like my mom, my sister, and everybody else, and just, you know, like, that's the ultimate goal, is like to be an example. You know, to leave a legacy. You know, that everybody's gonna remember. Like, I just know, you know, you just know.
That's greatness, man. When you just feel it, you can't explain it. You just know, bro.
Yes, it's a beautiful feeling. Like, the universe, like you'll be doing something, and the universe will like send you an angelic number, and it's like, damn, what am I? You know, what is going on right now that I have to like think about and have to like sit down and like understand or learn. You know, like, there's always something that you're being put into. You know, whether it be good or bad, there's always something. So, but yeah, that's how I look at it, man. You know, like, I'm on a journey, and I'm here to leave a legacy, and I'm here to help people. I'm here to, you know, make music that people are actually gonna be able to cry to and not want to put themselves deeper into the hole. You know, because, you know, we're not here for ourselves. We're here for each other, whether you like to believe it or not. You know, you might be like, yeah, this is my destiny, this is my journey, but you can't receive life's gifts without having the loving feeling in you to give to others.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and it's like, I heard this one thing recently. It's like, when you're giving to receive, you're trading, but when you're giving out of love, you know, you're truly, you know, wanting to help other people. You know, it's like, there's always going to be those times where you battle from back and forth, where you're like, yeah, I hope I get something out of this. You know, that's just who you are. That's your little ego talking. But in reality, like, subconsciously, when you really know who you are, it's like, when you have something so purposeful and so meaningful, you know, it's like, damn, I do want to give to people. You know, like, I want people, you know, I don't want to give to them just because I want something in return from the universe or from them. It's just like, damn, I want this person to be happier. You know, like, I want to see them happier. Yeah. Or, you know, I want to make their life a little bit better, you know. But yeah, that's how I am on, you know, the universe and like religion. I mean, I'm like, if you want to talk about religion, initially my whole life I was like Lutheran, but ever since that change, it's kind of just I have my own personal connection with the Lord. I know, like, that's what I believe in. The Lord is the universe. You know, it is a being. It is an entity that created everything. You can't say it's a he or a she. You know, and yeah, you know, I have my own connection, and you know, I have my own discussions, my own conversations, and you know, when you know that you're actually talking to it, you know, you'll always get a response. And if you don't, you're not asking the right questions. They're doing the right things. Like I don't ever ask the Lord for anything. At least I don't try to. I always thank him or he or she, whatever. And you know, I don't ask. I just follow the path and go along. You know, like my neighbor, she used to be a gospel singer, and she was telling me, she's like, you need to ask the Lord and pray. And I was like, I pray, but I give thanks. I don't ever ask for anything because He already gives me everything that I need.
Exactly, bro.
You
I
know,
feel the
like,
same way, bro. Like sometimes, like I have people that will be telling me, like, you gotta just keep praying, bro. I'm like, I don't really even like really pray. Like I
you
feel
just
like
receive based
I receive
on
and
your
I'm
plan.
grateful, bro.
Yeah.
And then like as I just keep doing what I'm already know that I'm supposed to do, and then like what comes to me, I'm grateful for that shit, bro.
Oh yeah.
So like it just like
it's
keeps
like
happening.
you're on a specific path, so it's like why ask for
Like,
anything when it's already set in
what could
stone?
I possibly ask for?
Yeah, exactly. What can I ask for if it's already you know, if what I need is already gonna be coming there? You know, it's like I don't have to ask for anything when I already have everything I need. It's like the whole concept behind, you know, self sustainability. You know, why ask for something when you know, why go buy, you know, tomatoes from the grocery store if I live on a farm where I grow tomatoes?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, why go to the store and get chicken, or you know, or why do any of that when I could do it all myself? You know, like that's the best part of success and that's the real key to success, or one of the keys, and we'll talk about that too, is knowing how to do everything by yourself, because you can't necessarily guarantee everybody's gonna give you the same passion that you give them and expect, you know, like say if I hire a producer to make all my beats, they're not always going to capture the energy that I'm trying to create, you know, try to capture. That's why I like making my own beats, is because I can not only connect with the music that I'm making behind my words, but it also emphasizes those words even more when I actually make the song, you know, and actually put it together. It's like, you know, why why do I need a manager when I can manage myself? You know, it doesn't take too much to go on YouTube and look up, you know, digital media marketing lectures. You know, like they're free. You know, same thing with like actual like networking. It's not hard to walk up to someone and be like, hi, you know, you like rap music? Like I literally will do that at a gas station. Like if I feel like certain energy with someone, I'm like, hey, you like rap music? You should check me out. Google me. You know, like you can find me everywhere. You know, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not hard, and it's always gonna be different when you're doing it over like when you like do it over Instagram and like talk to someone and you're like, hey, can you check out my music? People are like, eh.
It's like anybody.
Yeah, it's like, eh.
Anybody.
Even me,
It's
I'm
like,
like I
so
don't
like,
even want to, you know,
yeah.
like it's just like I'm on, like, but if you came up to me in person, it's like, damn, this person's going out of their way to actually talk to me and actually get involved with, you know, with communicating with me, and they actually want to know my feedback. It's not just like, all right, I want some plays, you know, like
Yeah.
I care less for plays, you know. It's just I know they're always gonna be there and they're always gonna come regardless, as long as I keep putting passion into it and you know keep being myself and keep doing me, you know. Yeah,
That's beautiful, bro.
I appreciate that, man. It's just honesty, man. Like that's another thing I like telling people, is just like when I meet them, it's like when I talk about the way that I live and the way that I go about my music and stuff, I never brag. I never have anything to brag about. It's literally me being honest with you.
Yeah.
I can never walk up to someone and be like, look, I have this and you don't. Like, you know, I hate those people. You know, it's like, why are you so jealous, you know, of other people around you, that you have to go out of your way to get stuff that you don't need, or you know, brag and flex something on someone because you have it and they don't. Like, who has something that you don't have? Like, so what? You know,
It's like deep down you have something like you're not happy about, so like now you're
yeah,
putting that on somebody
yeah,
else, like to like try to throw.
It's like, you know,
whatever
like I'm not
emotion-
ever gonna share like the way I like the way I really like get involved with my feelings and everything with music and stuff, but I'm never gonna tell someone you shouldn't do this, you know. Like you should, like if you show me a song, right, I'm gonna give you my honest criticism about it. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like, well, I could do it better, or I'm gonna be like, nah,
Yeah.
bro. You know, I'm gonna get into detail. I'm gonna be like, look, you should re-record this section of the song, or you should redo this, or you know, you should have them level out this better. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm never gonna cut someone down about it. You know, if it sounds good, it sounds good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, but I'm never gonna put my music out there and be like, look, fuck you. You know, I make something better than you. You know, it's like everybody has their own thing going on. Yeah. You know, you got those people who friggin' dick write other artists and just, you know, copycats. But shout out Glow Brooks and T Lee copycat out now. But fucking, no, like you can't, you know, you just can't get involved with the copycats, man. And, like, you hear all these people, you see all these people in like Instagram comments, and they're like, I'm gonna be the next Drake, I'm gonna be the next Post Malone. It's like, I'm gonna be the next me, bro. Like, there's nobody out there like me. Like, I've had radio interviews, and they're like, who would you compare yourself to? Nobody. Like, nobody. You know, I have my own thing going on. You have your own thing going on. You know, like, nobody, man. You know, that's why I feel like that's why the people that are around me right now are the people that are around me. Like, you know, I'm around you for a reason. You know, like, I don't know anybody that sounds like you. You know, like, when it comes to like music, I don't know anybody that sounds like fucking 28J. You know, like, I don't know. You know, there's no one that I know that sounds like that. So it's like, damn, I know this person's original. You know, it's like. Hey.
I picked that up from when I first heard you, bro. Like, when we first met at the Ford and I saw your performance, cause your shit was different, bro. Like, I always listen when I see somebody that I don't know, bro. I instantly listen to see, like, are they trying to, like, do they sound too much like somebody that I already know?
Yeah, right. Or,
do
like, they sound like a top tier artist?
Like, that's like what I be thinking. But like, if I can't describe what the person sounds like, then that's them. Like, they sound like them, bro.
Yeah.
And, like wait, bro. Like, for example, that one, I can't compare that to anybody. And then, like, listening to like the words that you're saying, like what you're talking about, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like you don't hear
like,
shit
that's
like
your
that.
perspective,
like,
and you're like
yeah.
sharing that shit with people, and like other people hear. Like, nobody says that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And it's what's funny about Wave. I'm glad that you brought that up. People think that it's about somebody, and it's not. You know, like, when I say call the bitch bad shit because she crazy, that bitch is life.
Sure,
like, when you listen to that song, I don't want you to think about, like, someone that I'm talking about. I want you to think about life. You know, like, I might cut off this bullshit in life. You know, I'm going to cut it off like a lemon in a hurricane, you know, just snap like that, you know, like nothing. You know, like, that's what it's about. It's about, you know, fucking, like, being a bitch, man. You just got to thrive in a shitty position, you know. But, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's even more perspective on that song, bro, because I thought for sure you're talking about me.
Yeah. Bro, for real. That's what everybody thinks. Even my mom, when she first heard that, she's like, I think I know who you're talking about. And I was like, I know you don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't. Like, you really don't. Like,
that's funny as hell.
But yeah, man, like.
Also, bro, another notable song that,
Kikyo on the new EP, Hellbent on Changing, out now on all platforms.
I really fuck with that one too, bro, because I really liked your singing voice, bro.
I appreciate that. I'm trying to be more comfortable singing in the studio and actually singing on the mic. Like, I like singing a lot. Like, interesting fact that not a lot of people know about me, I like singing country music, but it's the hardest thing to fucking make. Like, I like singing, and like, I like expressing my actual vocals and not just rapping all the time. Like, I really like putting a lot of emotion into songs. Like I said, that song was been on my computer for like a year until I actually finished it. It had different choruses, different verses, and it just wasn't until like Universe was like, that one, you need to finish. This is the right time for that. Like, right now, like,
sure.
You know, it's like, yeah, you know, like, I feel like, and I don't like comparing myself, but like, if I were to compare it to like another Chicago artist, like, obviously everyone's like, oh, I'm the next Juice WRLD. But like, if I were to compare it, like, that's my Lucid Dreams, you know, like, that's my emotional song that's really like it hits, and it's like, damn, you think about the lyrics behind it, and you're like, wow, like, that's deep, you know. And like, I don't say that to be, you know, bragging, or like say that to uphold myself higher than somebody else. I'm genuinely like, I feel like those lyrics, I put a lot into it. Like, it took a lot to get the verse that's there, you know. It's like, there were different verses throughout the period of actually having that song, you know, put together, different like melody sounds and everything. And eventually, you know, the universe was like, you know, knocking on my head, is like, that's, you know, you need to finish this now. I'm gonna give you the tools to finish this. Now finish it. and release it.
Yeah.
You know, and then on top of that, you hear Envy on in the mix, and what do you think? You think of Juice right away anyway. So, but yeah, man, appreciate it, man. I love that song a lot. Like Contagious Love is actually like the all platform like name of it, because I'm sure you noticed on SoundCloud there's like the anime at the beginning. That's actually from Inuyasha, which is like a 1990s like anime. I don't watch anime, but that one I'll sit down and watch all seasons. Like I love that show. It's just the premise behind it, and when I heard it, I was like, I'm gonna put the beginning, because I think it was like episode 24 or whatever, Kikyo's Kiss, and I heard that, I was like, that beat goes with that, like that, I need to put that before then, and like it all just ended up being perfect. Like I just knew, you know. But yeah.
How long have you been performing for, bro?
Performing. Well, I think it was 2019. I performed for the first time in front of a bunch of people at a cancer benefit. I dyed my hair hot pink, and I was in my emo phase, so I wanted it pink anyway. I love pink, by the way. It's like one of my favorite colors. And I I covered some songs on guitar, and 2018 is when I did that for the first time. No, 2017. 2017, I performed at a small cancer benefit, and then the years following, I kept performing at them. In the first 2 years, was 2017 and 2018. I did covers of songs, and then 2019, I did my own songs with a microphone and everything. And 2020, I didn't do any like performances of any kind. 2021, I performed for the first time in the main room at the Forge. I forget what it was for. It was like an artist showcase or whatever. It was like a buy-in, so I was like, whatever.
Right.
My friends put me onto it, and I got really fucked up beforehand. Like everybody else thought it sounded fine, but it was like I could have done like way better. You know, I was like super drunk. I just turned 21, so I was like drinking heavy, and we were smoking the whole time we were there, and I regretted it, and then I went into like a little depression stage, and it kind of triggered a lot of shit back. And then this year came around, and I performed at the Sitting Bull Saloon in Beecher. I had my own show there. It was like an indoor during the winter. Not a lot of people showed up because it was winter time, but I did like all my like major like new songs and everything. I did them like twice. I went until like midnight, and after that I did some shows at the Forge, and after that I just been, you know, doing whatever. You know, I've done like 20 shows this year already, and it's only 5 months in. So we got a lot of big shows coming, so yeah.
And then how did you end up getting involved with Misfits, bro?
At the Forge.
So was that before I met you the first time?
No, I think it was As You Met Me, and Lil Night, Sad, Glowbrooks, fucking, who else? Stag, $sign Stag, Joey Perks, Anai Hastings, all of those artists. I mean, they were all in Misfits until, you know, we kind of weeded out. Everybody had their own thing going on, and then it's just us. And, but yeah, we kind of like I think it was Knight and KD, one of Glowbrooks' buddies. They created a group chat, and they just added all the best artists that had performed. And I don't know if they saw, because I think that was around the same time you started doing stuff with 28 Angels, and they're like, no, he's going to do his own thing. So they're like, yeah, you know, like, everybody fucks with you, man. Like, fucking Rowdy's, you know, running up these X's shit, wanna get right. Like, I was listening to that, ironically, without, like, putting it on. It was just on my playlist. But, like everybody, like, when everybody started talking about their own things that they had going on, it kind of just weeded them out. So, like, everybody did their own thing, and then eventually we got led to the point to where we're at now, just a couple artists, but we all have our own positions. You know, we all do just more than just our music. We do our own thing, and we're signing, you know, the best of the best artists. That's not my role. I'm not an A&R, but, like, we don't take the souls out of artists. We don't take everything that they have, and we don't suck the life out of them. We give them the chance to keep their royalties, you know, keep their own legacy, you know, like, and actually thrive in the music industry instead of going broke like everybody else. Yeah. You know, you see these rappers with these hot ass chains on and everything. Is like, you realize that those chains that they're wearing is their entire bank account right there. You know, like, you really think that they have all this money? They don't. you know. And then you got people like Lil Baby who invest. You know, even Young Boy invests. Man, he talks about it in his music. He buys properties, and properties are where it's at. You know, like they actually know what to do. They know they're financially literate by default. You know, and that's we want our artists to be financially literate. And one of the biggest secrets, another secret outside of knowing how to do things on your own, is knowing how to be consistent. And that is a deeper meaning than what, you know, just doing things, you know, the same thing over and over. A lot of artists and a lot of successful people will tell you, you know, you have to be consistent, be consistent, be consistent. But what happens when, you know, Lil, you know, I'm gonna just throw a random name out there, Lil Young, you know, Lil Youngin, or I don't know, you know, just we'll say Lil Youngin as an example rapper. We'll say he hears that and he's like, well, I'm just gonna make a bunch of songs and keep uploading until something happens. And you notice all those songs, they only have like one play each. You know, and then you have artists who drop like, spend their time on their craft, and then go into the studio when they know for sure that this song is gonna be good. After taking demos and stuff, they go into the studio, they get it done. They got 3 songs out, and all those songs have like 10, 20,000 plays. Only got 3 songs public. Well, it's because they know how to network. Your consistency has to be within the networking. It can't be within the dropping, because you could drop 1 million songs in a year and gain nothing. You know, but then you have artists who drop 3 songs, and just one of those songs is all that it took. You just have to know how to network. So, but yeah, that's how
That's some real game right there, bro. That's
yeah, man. I mean, you got me, man. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm not gonna give y'all all the secrets, but you know, like,
of course not, bro.
but yeah, that's like where it starts. Eventually, that's the thing. You know, I say, you know, all these secrets. I mean, it's secrets that work for me. You know, those are just the base that has to start, and initially to be disciplined enough to be consistent with your networking, to put a lot of time into your music. You have to really care about it, have something going on. You know, you can't just go into the booth and fucking, you know, pull shit out of your ass and hope it works.
Yeah.
You know, and think, oh, this is fire, bro. And no, it's not. You know, you didn't put anything into it. You know.
I used to feel like pressure on myself, bro, because like sometimes it would be like a long time that I didn't drop, but like within myself, I know that it's just because I'm not ready. Like I want everything to be ready.
You want the right feeling to be.
Yeah, I want not even just the music, but my personal life has to be ready. Like, you know, everything else behind the music, like leading up, how we're gonna drop it, like how are we gonna get people to know it, like hear about it.
Like that's how you know you're actually meant to do this. Is like you have those ideas, like Denzel Washington. I love this quote. I don't know if it was at the Grammys or whatever it was at. I don't remember what it was at. But he's like, small minds talk about other people. Good minds talk about events. But great minds have ideas. And great minds are the ones who succeed. He didn't say the succeed part, but you know, great minds have the ideas. Because, you know, the people who have the ideas, those are the people who get the most out of life because they can think like that. Their brain is wired differently. I feel like that's why I'm blessed too. Like when I was younger, because I told you earlier I was diagnosed with celiac disease. When I was younger, I didn't know. I was diagnosed when I was 12, so I had all these neurotoxins that was fermenting food in my stomach and creating literally alcohol. And I'd literally be drunk all the time. I had all these medical issues that I was diagnosed with. I was taking all these medications at a young age. And I was also diagnosed with Asperger's autism, which is not on the spectrum anymore. But I still have some of those tendencies, and they're not bad tendencies, but it takes part in a part of the way you think. Like great mind, like your brain is wired differently. Like people with even with ADHD, their brains are wired differently than other people. They can hyper focus on multiple different things at the same time, and at the same time not be focused too. You know, like you have different abilities that other people don't have. And like I don't want to get too deep into it just because of the people who watch these podcasts, but have you ever heard of your pineal gland?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know about the pineal gland, how it partakes in, you know, your spirituality and everything. Well, interesting fact about the pineal gland is that under an X-ray, like you know how they have the thermal X-rays or whatever, where you can see all the electrons and stuff going in people's brains, which sides are more active or whatever. I'm not too like knowledgeable of that, but autistic brains look like a burning bush on X-ray, and so does the pineal gland. and it's believed that's why autistic people, like especially the ones who are really autistic, are extremely advanced compared to normal people, is because they have, like, their brain is a pineal gland. It's literally a giant third eye. You know, and it's like, I don't believe insane people. Like, obviously, if you go around fucking killing people, you're a fucking horrible person. But, like, people who are diagnosed with schizophrenia and depression and all these different mental disorders, these people aren't crazy. They just have a more realistic and a deeper perception and a different wiring compared to, like, the average person. Because, you know, you could be an average person and fucking 9 to 5 your whole life, you know, do what everybody else does, you know. And you can notice those people too, because there's a lot of people out there that look like a lot of other people. You know, they have a lot of doppelgangers. And then there's also those people who don't look like a lot of people, and you just know. It's like they have like a different facial structure, they have completely different ways of thinking, and they have something special about them. There's always, I mean, that's how you just know. Like you, I don't know anybody that looks like you. You know, like I don't know any, like there's a little bit of people that look like me that I've told, you know, look like me, but they don't. You know, like, you know, you just, when you're a unique individual, you recognize the other unique individuals in the world. Because, you know, I could be dating this chick named Ashley in freaking, you know, the same town or whatever, and there's another blonde chick that looks exactly like her, just because they're similar, you know, tendencies, the similar ways that they grew up, similar experiences. They're just another person. You know, they're just,
yeah.
You know, they're just, you know, I hate to use the word basic, but there are a lot of basic people out there. You know, like just a lot of followers compared to the leaders. You know, like you always have to be a wolf in a field full of sheep. You know, always be a white rose in a field full of red roses. You know, always be, you know, real in a world full of fake people. So, but it all ties in. No matter which way you look at it, whether you focus on your diet, whether you do anything in life, everything ties into each other. I mean, you want to talk about vibrations, everything, even though this couch we're sitting on right now, it doesn't have, you know, a heart rate or anything. With this couch, the cells in it that make this a thing, those things have vibrations. It has life in it, believe it or not. You know, like your shoes, your clothes, like everything has a vibration and everything has life. Everything. You know, so that's how you just gotta look at it. And I seen the video recently, and it's such a great time to bring it up. Is, you know, when the universe gives you the special pair of glasses, there's rules that come with it. You can't ever show people, you can't ever force people to wear the glasses you're given, and you have to see things as they are and not what they're supposed to be. And always live your life like that. You know, like, yes, this is an object. It's just what it is. You know, it's supposed to be a couch, yeah, but it is what it is. You know, that's what it is. Okay, that's a tree. At least that's what it's supposed to be called. But it's just an object that's there. You know, because everything is made up of vibrations and frequencies, geometry. Like that's that's like one of the three things that everything is made up of is geometry, vibrations, and energy, and all of them need each other to go in hand with one another. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I look at it.
Do you take any psychedelics, bro?
No.
No, for sure.
No, I don't know who's gonna be watching this, but I just want to be as open as possible. But like, I made wax brownies one time, and you know how when you ingest cannabis, it creates a compound chemical that's 4 times stronger than THC.
Right.
That's why edibles are so much stronger, because a different compound chemical is made. It's not normal THC, and it's not THC. Forget what it's called. But I had reclaim wax. I had 2 grams of reclaim wax. And you know, reclaim out of your dab rig, that's you know, wax is already concentrated as is, but reclaim is even more concentrated now. And when you add that, I made 2 big ass brownies. Each had to have a gram in them, a gram in each. I ate one whole one, and I saw myself in third person, and I thought a demon was crawling on me. I had a bunch of like little visions and shit here and there. But eventually, I want to take mushrooms, and I want to try DMT. I feel like I've had my own personal DMT experiences just because of having, you know, all the medical issues going on and all the brain toxins. I feel like I've had like a pineal activation by default. Like I can look at something and control like color changing. It's so weird. Like, I don't know if you've ever been able to do this. Like, you'll be able to like focus on one thing, and everything around that object you can control, like colors and shit that you see. Like everything else changes colors, and you can like change those colors and shit, and you can like visually trip without actually taking anything. Like I'll just I'll like my eyes are always focused, but like if I look at something for like 30 seconds and I intentionally relax my eyes, like over relax them, I can start seeing colors by default. Like, and just start seeing like different shapes and shit, just all sorts of shit moving around without having to take psychedelics. It's not as extreme because it's only, you can only do so much. Like different lighting can affect it. Like right now, like if I like from like seeing that out of the corner of my eye, like there's like, how like when you look at the sun, it's almost like, and you have like that color, that's that thing that's like when you look at the sun for a certain amount of time, and you see that little sphere where you were looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like that, but you can control it.
Yeah.
Like with lights and stuff, like my eyes are always like that with different lighting, and if I'm moving my head around a lot and I'm focusing too, like I'll start seeing that light, like the outline of it in a different color, like that light, because I have my eyes in this direction for like 30 seconds. I can see like a little outline right here, and it's like a white outline, but there's also like a red color here. Like it's just how my brain works, Yeah, I haven't taken any psychedelics yet.
For sure.
Yeah, if I get too high, some shit happens.
Nah, there's like, I used to be like definitely wary about that shit because my mom like told me stories about like people that do the shit.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
well see, that's not what
crazy
put
shit
me
going
off
on.
of it. It's just like when I was a baby, I had like a bunch of epileptic episodes, and I haven't had any ever since I was a baby. But on top of that, having like anxiety and like slight schizophrenia, my mom would warn me. She's like, mushrooms, because she took mushrooms at one point in her life. I know she said something about experiencing it is like it triggers your anxiety and your paranoia if you take it at the wrong time. And that could be dangerous for you. Being me with my issues, and it's just like, okay, well, I'll wait on it. It's like I want to take DMT before I take mushrooms, because I really do want to talk to the entities that I feel like communicate me and guide me alongside the universe and the angels and everything. I really want to dig deeper into higher consciousness. I feel like I'm already have an awakened consciousness, but you can go so much further than what you could see here, because the way you and me look at things, like you really think that this is how things are actually seen by other like spiritual energy, like entities. Like the colors that we see, we're only limited to what our brains are give us by default. When you activate a higher conscious, like your on earth higher conscious, the way that I look at it is like you on here, before you take psychedelics, before you get involved with like DMT and like connecting with other like spiritual realms and everything, you can only bring it so far before, because it's only an energy based at that point. It's never visual, because the way we see each other isn't actually how the universe sees us. There's different colors that you and me can't see. There's different energies that you and me can't feel. There's music notes that we haven't heard that can't be heard on earth by default. Like there's just so much things that you have yet to experience in a higher conscious. You can be awakened, but you're never going to be higher conscious until you take that DMT step. So eventually I want to go to like other countries, and like I don't remember if it's in Brazil or Africa, but they have the ayahuasca with the DMT, the big fucking tents, and I want to partake in one of those ceremonies and actually like indulge in like a vision and actually experience those higher realms in a controlled area and not just by myself. But obviously I'd have to try it first. I know they got like DMT pens now you can hit.
I've heard of
Yeah,
that.
I want to get one, bro. Like
That's
I've grown
crazy.
salvia before. Like you can buy salvia from the store, but it's like I don't know if it's the same. I'm not like too knowledgeable of like psychedelics, because it's not like weed. Like weed, we're meant to consume, like we're born with an endocannabinoid system, which was initially thought to be our endocrine system. It's our endocannabinoid system. We have CB1 and CB2 receptors. I mean, the foods that we eat have cannabinoids in them. Like black peppers have a terpene in them that kills paranoia. Like pepper kernels that you grind up to make pepper. Like Elton John made it a popular thing back in the 70s or the 80s, when you chew peppercorns, it kills your paranoia when you're high. And like mangoes have myrcene, which is responsible for indica. Like indica strains are based off of how much myrcene is in there because that's what puts you in the couch. If you eat a mango when you're stoned, you're gonna get more stoned. Like an actual mango, you're gonna get more stoned because there's actual cannabinoids in all the foods we eat. You know, there's different acids, there's alkaloids, which, you know, you can find alkaloids in mushrooms. You know, and there's certain alkaloids which give you that psychedelic effect that, you know, fucking psilocybin mushrooms give you. And it's the same thing with like DMT, and like there's just all sorts of different shit that you just don't know about. Because I mean, if you want to get, if you want to get like deeper involved with like political stuff, like the government, our specific government has limited us to so much and to so much information. Like you look at other countries, like other countries send, you know, top tier doctors, which would be top tier here, is like low grade over there, you know, or like top tier students that which would be top tier here, you know, like A1, you know, Harvard University over there, that's like base level for them, you know, and they know what they're doing too. It's like certain foods are banned in other countries. Like red 40 is a dye that's banned in every other country in the world except for the United States. And that's because it messes with your brain. It's one of the leading causes of ADHD, and it can also cause cancer. Anything with other food dyes. Like I tried flaming hot Cheetos from Korea, and they use wasabi and all natural ingredients. They just look like regular, you know, cheese Cheetos. You wouldn't expect them to be hot. Then you see hot Cheetos here and they're bright red. Well, that's because they have red 40 in them. It all ties in, man. And if y'all think I'm bullshitting, do the research for yourself. Like, I mean, that's one of the biggest problems that a lot of Americans have is everyone listens, but no one ever questions.
Yeah.
No one ever looks into it for their own. You know, someone will watch the news and be like, well, I know this about this presidential candidate. It must be true. Well, did you look into it to actually see? Like, I hate to be this guy and people are going to criticize me for, you know, Trump had a really bad mouth, but everything that they said about him was bullshit. You actually look into it and actually look into, like, the research. Like, remember when they said he had only paid, like, $300 on his taxes? Well, in the same article, they said he put down $34 million in the same taxes. They just wanted to talk shit because he had something to say that they didn't like hearing. You know, he exposed the border control. Like I have nothing against anybody. Like, I have nothing against races. I love, you know, the way I look at it, you know, I look at it like this, you know, I love all flavors. You know, like, that's, you know, from a you know, a guy to a woman perspective, you know, that's how I look at it. But, like, in a people perspective, we're all the same color, just a different shade. You know, and, like, when you actually look into the claims that they were making that he was racist, they weren't actually racial claims. They were just trying to toss him under the bus because what he was saying contradicts their political agenda. The other party wanted to do something and make money off of this. And it's like, well, what the fuck? You know, like, you know, 90% of the people who come over to the border illegally, I'm not saying all of them, because there are genuinely those people over there that are in straight poverty and they need a second chance and they can't afford a green card. They can't afford to go through all that. They don't have the credentials. But the other 90%, I mean, don't you find it weird how this freaking white guy's coming from the Mexico border with 15 Mexican children with no other parents? They're not even related to him. What do you think's actually going on? They're trafficking those children in. And the opposing party doesn't want you to know that because they're involved with that. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. There's always going to be those globalists that are involved with fentanyl trafficking, with child trafficking, human trafficking as a whole. I mean, that's why we put that border. I mean, it wasn't just because of the whole, like, manufacturing thing and trying to keep everything American based. It's because these people are going to other countries and taking children and smuggling them in and giving them to elites. You know, I don't know what they do. I mean, I don't want to talk about that because, you know, we can get censored for that. But it's like, that's just an example of why you should always question things. You should question what food, like the processing that goes into the food that you eat on a daily basis, the TV shows, the messages they're putting in behind it. I mean, it's literally goes down to like the colors that restaurants use for their logos. Like red makes people think they're hungry. That's why McDonald's, Burger King, they have like this bright red logos. You know, it all ties in. It's all, you know, it's like you can look at it from a business perspective. Yeah, I want to get people, but you could also look at it from a controlling, as you know, a controlling perspective. Like, damn, they really have us all doing the same thing and doing the same process. They have us literally lined up like a corporation. Why do you think there's a president and a vice president? It's because America's ran like a corporation. You know, like you're taxed to live. You know, initially when America was founded, we escaped the 13 colonies. We didn't want taxes. We wanted true freedom. Where did that true freedom go? You know, like where did that freedom go? Where did all of our rights? I want to be able to, you know, I will say it like Thomas Jefferson said it. I'd rather have dangerous freedom than peaceful slavery. You know, I want to be able to carry a gun in case there is some crazy, crazy person out there. I want to be able to have a gun to defend my family, and I want you to be able to defend your family too. I want to know what's being put into my foods. I want to know what my kids are being taught. But those are the things that they're trying to take away. Or, well, I work a 9 to 5, but I don't think this is enough money. I'm going to go start a side hustle. Well, that's part of the reason why socialism doesn't work. Socialism, if you look at every other country that's socialism based, it either ends in dictatorship or failed economics. You know, you have countries like freaking Russia, which are, you know, socialist, but they're actually communist, and they have more communist based morals than anything. I mean, they have a dictator leader. Everyone has an equity cap. And one thing that I didn't like about the current administration is literally the day before the election, the vice president released this video. She was supposed to be a moderate. Well, she's a Marxist. She wants equity of resources, as what she calls it, or as an actual person who cares about the money that they make and everything that and about their financial life. Well, how would you feel if you made $25,000 every year and you tried making money everywhere else, but all that extra money that you tried making got taken by the government because you could only make so much money? You wouldn't like that. That's living like a slave.
Yeah.
And the same people were like, well, we're trying to end slavery, and that's why they use racial tactics. They start all these problems and make all these claims, like, the recent shooting in NY, that white guy that killed all those black people. Well, comes to find out, he was a racist communist. He had nothing to do with the Republican Party or anything, Republican or conservative for whatsoever. But they want you to think that so they can suppress conservative values, because a lot of conservatives aren't even Republicans. They're libertarians. They're what a liberal actually is, someone who cares about the integrity of the people of the country that they live in and about the country that they live in. But they don't like that ideology because they want to control. That's why they'll bring in racial thing. Oh, this white guy, he was a right Republican and he killed all these black people. That must mean that all Republicans are racist against black people. That must mean that Republicans are white supremacists. I know more black Republicans than I know white. It's like, it has nothing to do with race and the other party, and it's not, and like I said earlier, it's not that, Republicans have a higher power than Democrats to. Well, there's globalists in both parties. There's like 5 Republicans that I actually care about, not even that actually care about this country. And those are the only politicians I actually care to listen for, like Ron Paul. He's a libertarian, but he's, publicly a Republican just because of the values that go with the rest of the party. When he got elected, yeah, there were more Republicans that were involved that were conservative and were libertarian, but now it's just globalist. Same thing. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard in the Democratic Party, they hate her because she's an actual liberal. She's an actual libertarian. Or, what's her face? She was a libertarian runner this year, but you get what I'm saying. It's just they use racial tactics to bring people down. I mean, want to know something about the Democratic Party? They started the KKK. They were the ones who brought that to the world, and they said, oh, well, mindsets changed. No, they changed your mindset. Same thing with Republicans back in the day. They were both the same party. It's the people that get elected. Is why it's so important to vote. You have all these rappers who get paid by these big corporations like the Baby and all these other ones are like, you need to go to the vote. You need to vote for this person. It's because they're being paid to. But in reality, that person's values, they're globalists. They want to sell our country out to another country. They don't care about Americans succeeding and, you know, indulging in capitalism and being able to have a thriving, comfortable life. They'd rather have you at the minimal. It's like when Mr. Rockefeller created the Board of Education back in the early 1900s. He said, "I'd rather raise a nation full of workers than a nation full of free thinkers." You feel me? Like, this shit is no game. Everything you see, the way you, like I said, the way you, the foods you eat, the things you get taught in school, it's all a lie. It's all bullshit. You actually have to dig down and research and actually question things to know the actual truth in the world. And everything. I mean, even this music industry is full of shit. You know, we could talk about that, but I don't wanna get killed. You know,
we get like sent like an invitation or something.
Yeah, but you feel me, right? Like, that's just, everything ties in, man. Everything ties in. You know, like, everything, man.
It's like I like to say, bro, in this world, it's like a constant battle between good and evil. You know,
It is, man. That's why I got the freaking crystal on. You know, good energy. You know.
That's why like motherfuckers always. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers in the music scene we wanted to like rep like demon shit, bro. But we got the motherfucking angels in this bitch, bro.
Yeah, exactly. 28 angels, bro. It's crazy though, because a lot of these big ass rappers, you know, the ones who are really like Bond, he was an actual demon, bro. Like, he really did the shit he talked about. You know, like, there's actual demons out there. People don't understand, like, angels and demons, it's not a social construct. Like, that shit is actually real.
No,
like,
sure.
demons exist. Like, I don't know if you're like this with people, but you just know there's certain evils about people. Like, when you go past someone and you just feel like this, bro, they do horrible things. You know, like, you just know. You feel me? You just know. Like, you go past, like, in my town where I live in at the moment, like, it initially used to be like an Indian trail, and a lot of bad shit used to happen. That town has a lot of bad energy. That's why a lot of bad shit happens in my town. I'm trying to leave. There's a lot of negative energy, and there's a lot of, you know, evil spirits that still lurk from time to time. You know, like, you just, you know, be aware, question everything. You know, you have to question things. That's how the truth comes. Because you really think the world is just gonna give you the truth? It's like, you know, if I want something in life, I have to work for it. You think you're just going to be given that thing that you want? No, you have to work for it. You actually put time into it. You have to question things. Because if you don't question things, then you just, you know, live along and do what the world does, you know, and do how the world does. It's like, yeah, you're just going to end up like everybody else. End up retirement, 9 to 5 your whole life, nothing special going on.
Sean Bucket type shit.
Yeah, fucking, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Mormon, you know, this is what my religious beliefs are, or, you know, I'm a machinist, or I'm an auto dealership, you know, fucking whatever, like that's all worldly things. Those are all social human constructs.
That's so like minimal shit, you know.
It's worldly things, you know. You gotta look at things as they are, not what they're supposed to be.
I'll be right back, bro. I gotta go back.
Sorry.